Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining my YouTube channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And a big thank you to Group Industrial UK Limited for sponsoring, along with my Facebook Live, the new YouTube channel. Big game coming up against Chelsea. And I was thinking of my own career and thinking, Chelsea games, what games stick out? Obviously, I was doing the commentary with the late, great Ali Brownlee. I think three times we played Chelsea and get beat 3 times. Anyway, the couple of things about my own career was playing against Chelsea. The first one was a playoff final. It was back in 1988. It was a 2-leg affair. We had beaten Bradford. I think they had beaten Blackburn Rovers. Anyway, we played Chelsea at Ayresome Park. I think it was a Wednesday night. And we beat them 2-0. Trevor Senior scored. One of Reading's finest strikers ever. He came, I think it was 500 grand. He scored the important goal. I crossed it for the left. Great header. That was his forte. And we were 1-0 up. And then I scored the second. And we travelled to Stamford Bridge 2-0 up. A lot of people are still thinking Chelsea were going to turn us over. Back then it was a different format. It was the very first playoff finals there was. It was a different format. Chelsea were already a first division team, the equivalent of today's Premier League. And we were a second division team, the equivalent of today's Championship. So it was a different format. And anyway, we go down there. Within 18 minutes, we're 1-0 down. Gordon Durie scored, the former Rangers and Scotland international. He scored. And then it was backs against the walls for the majority. The players hung on for grim life. The defensive lot like Stephen Pears and Pallister and Mowbray and Cooper and Parkinson and everybody, Paul Kerr, Gary Hamilton, Ripley, they worked their socks off. I worked my socks off. I couldn't tackle. But anyway, final whistle went. We held on for dear life, and the whistle went. And I ran, I've told the story many times, but I ran towards the 10,000 Borough faithful who had made the long trip for such an important game. As I was getting closer, they were getting animated, and I'm thinking, must be the players behind me. And as I've turned round, there's the Chelsea fans who'd bust through the seams. I'm not talking about a couple, I'm talking hundreds, thousands running towards me. Anyway, never quite had a beat them for Christie that day. I headed off down the tunnel. You can see it on YouTube now. That particular snap about that game, or after the game. I'm last down the tunnel. Anyway, held behind closed doors for the duration, and well, for a good hour anyway. They got the riffraff, the toe rags, the scumbags off the pitch, and then we came out to celebrate with the 10,000 travelling supporters. So it was a fantastic memory. And the thing was, I know we get so that was fantastic memory to go third, second, first consecutive seasons. The majority were our local lads. 3 years previous, we'd been on the brink of extinction, bankruptcy, and liquidation, or whatever. And to go third, second, first was amazing under Bruce Rear, Colin Todd. They guided us there along with all the players. So it was a fantastic day. So that lives in memory forever. That was my greatest moment in the Middlesbrough shirt. My other greatest moment was going to Wembley with Middlesbrough in 1990. It was the Zenith Cup final. People will be saying, Zenith, what blinking hell's that? Well, the words maybe a bit stronger. The Zenith Cup, yeah, it wasn't one of the most prestigious trophies. It wasn't the FA Cup. It wasn't the League Cup. But I tell you what, you tell both sets of supporters that. They were queuing round Ayresome Park at midnight and beyond, overnight, to get tickets. I think it was 35,000 Borough fans made the journey. In total on the day for the Zenith Cup final that a lot of people in today would go, what was that competition? It was a sellout at Wembley. And the reason it was so special, I know we get beaten. If you don't know, we get beaten 1-0, I've just been looking through. I have never watched the final, I can swear to God, never watched the final in 32 years. Never watched it. Because we get beat, I just thought, no, we didn't really play that day. They'd never really played either, but getting beaten by Chelsea, I was so pissed off at the time, I never watched it again. Anyway, I watched it today because of the YouTube, and I'm going to show you a few wee clips, myself involved that day. But yeah, so the only reason it holds a special place for me is because it was the first time in Middlesbrough Football Club's history that a team had got to Wembley. I mean, there's greater players than my team, our team, and me. Guys like Brian Clough, the late great Brian Clough, Camso, Mannion, Hardwick, all these guys who were absolute legends of Middlesbrough Football Club in the past. Camsell, Mickey Fenton, there were some great players, great strikers. They all represented England and played at the Twin Towers. But as a football team and wearing the red shirt in Middlesbrough, we were the first team to achieve that. So that's historically, that's the history books. We were the first team to make it at Wembley. On that day, and it's one of the few things I've kept back, is my shirts and my my tracksuit from that day. Obviously, I've got the programme, I've left them here because obviously I knew I was doing that. A lot of people sometimes pop this up, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because obviously the game against Chelsea. That's one that I got signed at right after the game. All the lads have signed it. I don't know if you can see that. And then, well, we're here. Before I show you clips of games against Chelsea, there's the tracksuit. That was the official tracksuit. Pretty classy. Actually, it was quite comfortable. It's made of cotton as opposed to Brian Island or whatever. But that's the original tracksuit, and that was the shirt. That was the original shirt. Yeah, and obviously number 7 in the back. And people say, I remember Ali wound me up a lifetime, God rest him. Ali, you say, Bernard, remember that time you played against Chelsea at Wembley? You missed a sitter. Well, I've got evidence that it wasn't a sitter. It looked as if I missed a sitter, but it was a great. I think it was the guy. Is it Nicholas, Welsh international? He just made a challenge at the last second. On the day, this was the medal. For some people, it's just about educating people. Do medals. It's a runners-up, so some people bin them, but I just hold on to it because I'm a hoarder. That is the medal on the day. You see that? Zenith Cup. Nothing glamorous, and obviously runners-up. So that is the medal. So what I'm going to do now, before we go into the footage and whatever, I'm going to try this jersey on. I've not done it. This is live now. I'm going to see if it fits me. Yeah. Hold on. Don't want you to see my body. Hold on. I'm not here to strip. I'm only here to see if it fits me. Somebody will be saying, no way. 32 years on, does it fit me? I don't know. I've never tried it. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, feels a bit tight there. Oh, hey, fits like a glove. Look at that. Fits like a glove. Eh? How good is that? I might wear that tomorrow at the Chelsea game. What do you think? Yeah? Hey, fits like a glove, doesn't it? Look at that. Anyway, it fits. So, thanks for joining us. If you like what you see, bit of nostalgia there looking back, but it's not about me, not about the past, it's about the future, the present, and tomorrow, let's hope we shove it right up Chelsea. Up the Borough. Cheers.
Slaven's completely unmarked and he can go well forward into the penalty area. But can he pick somebody out? He got it the second time. Bernie Slaven gives Middlesbrough what could be an absolutely crucial second goal. What a bargain buy this man was. £25,000 way back in 1985. He got the goals that got him out of Division 3. And is he going to get the goals that get them out of Division 2? His 24th of the season. But look at the space that he was allowed here. Where was the fullback? He might have tried to pick somebody out. Instead, he brought a good save from Hitchcock. And then when the rebound came to him, this time right-footed, and it's 2-0.
into football, let alone management, you dream of going into a cup final. And as Bobby said, it's taken him a long time to be there, but he's there. He'll enjoy it. He comes out with probably the hottest favourites, I would guess, since Leeds played against Sunderland. That would be the size of Middlesbrough's task, I think, if they caused an upset. They'll cause the biggest upset in my book, certainly since Sunderland turned Leeds over.
Well, Ron, you've been down in that tunnel. How nervous is everybody feeling at the moment, do you think?
Strangely enough, I don't think you do feel nervous. I mean, the first time I did it, I look forward to it very much so, and it's something you anticipate, and it's something you enjoy and savour. But Laurie McManaman made the point, once the whistle blows, once they're over the white line, it is really a football match, and it is about winning.
Well, there's the man in charge today, Roger Milford from Bristol. He'll be the referee with his two linesmen there. And behind him then the two teams, Chelsea led out by Bobby Campbell, and Tony Mowbray is leading out Middlesbrough. Tony Mowbray, the man who misses the final through injury, everyone feeling so sad for him. I think at first he was very reluctant to take on this task. He said he'd feel embarrassed by it, but he's obviously had a change of heart, and my word, he looks pleased, Ron.
Yes, I think psychologically that might be a good thing for Middlesbrough. A nice gesture by Colin Todd. Obviously, everybody regrets Bruce Rett not being there, but that's a good gesture, and I would guess a very, very good psychological point. I mean, Mowbray is the leader of the pack, sort of thing, and has been since they came from the third to the first.
Well, this was the view of Colin Todd. He was saying that Tony Mowbray has been the cornerstone of Middlesbrough in recent years, and he deserved to be out there. And then obviously it was the final decision that Tony Mowbray was to lead out Middlesbrough on this famous day in the club's history. Just look at the support that Middlesbrough had here at Wembley. 34,000 tickets easily sold. And there's Colin Todd, the new manager of Middlesbrough, just 2 weeks ago. He was the assistant to Bruce Rett. Alongside him there, another old England favourite, David Nish. Cracking atmosphere around the stadium as the two teams prepare to meet the guest of honour today, Joe Solari, who is the president of Zenith Data Systems Europe. He's an American football fan. I don't know what his interests are in English football, but I'm sure he's going to enjoy this occasion today. He's a fan of the Chicago Bears, I'm told. The players just limbering up in readiness for the presentation.
He'll be a bit disappointed Graham Roberts isn't playing the role.
Graham Roberts, I'm told, is here today, the player coach who's had his disagreements with Chelsea. He's out injured anyway, so Graham will be part of the day, but sadly for him, not part of the side. Tony Mowbray will be introducing the Middlesbrough players to Joe Solari, and he is also there, Bill Fox, president of the Football League too. And this competition really has come on in leaps and bounds, and we're all indebted to Zenith for their contribution this season. Proctor is the captain of Middlesbrough today in the absence of Mowbray on the field. It's Paul Kerr, one of the substitutes for Middlesbrough. Bernie Slaven, he's going to be a key man up front, and also Stuart Ripley back in the side. There's Peter Davenport. The goalkeeper Stephen Pears. Always a nerve-wracking occasion for goalkeepers. It really is a fantastic noise around the stadium. Joe Solari and Bill Fox make their way across to the Chelsea team. Chelsea captained by Peter Nicholas, the Welsh international. There's Dave Besant, goalkeeper of course for Wimbledon back in 1988 when they shocked the football world by beating Liverpool. And one of the men behind the emergence of the full members club. There's referee Roger Milford. Talking to Roger beforehand, and he was really intending to soak up the atmosphere and hopefully keep a tight ship too. Terry Dixon, who missed out on the full members final back in '86 because of injury, says his ambition is to score a goal at Wembley. He hasn't done so far. He also that game and failed to score in his only England appearance here against Northern Ireland when
chap called Pat Jennings defied him on quite a few occasions. So the two teams break to their respective ends. Middlesbrough to our right, Chelsea to our left. And the sun shining brightly down now on Wembley. They'll be running around with full muscles. It's a stamina staffing circus. Pitch though in excellent condition at Wembley. And they do say if you can't play here, you can't play anywhere. Slaven. He's done well, rippling past, 2 tackles then. Burrow got players up. Oh, but the pass was well wide of the target then. Davenport. Actually, the encouraging thing for Middlesbrough would be if they can establish a grip on the game. Their style of play is best suited for playing at Wembley. I mean, they're a passing side. They're not one of these sides that just waft the ball from one end of the field to the other. They do play possession football, and that's the sort of football that normally is successful on this ground. Second division, 2 seasons back when Middlesbrough went up to the first. Dramatic playoff situation. On the minds of Chelsea today. Certainly don't appear to be overawed, do they, Peter? They've come here to enjoy it, they've come here to play their game, which is passing the ball around. And at the moment, it's okay, they've had one hard flutter from Jury's shot, but they've settled down fairly comfortably. Here's the free kick, and it's Kernahan, and a goal! Oh! Well, I thought it had gone in then from Slaven, and somehow he failed to turn it in. It seemed impossible that he could miss then. Kernahan challenging. Well, the one player who you would bet money on in this country, that's his scene, isn't it? Little tap-ins, anticipated the header from Kernahan. And really, they should be winning the lead now. Here's the corner taken by Proctor. Back in by Davenport. The whistle's gone, though, for an infringement. But Bernie Slaven then, oh, he really should have scored goal number 26. It seemed he just had to score. The free kick was floated over superbly. Good free kick here. Kernahan's lost his marker. Good free kick. There was a suggestion at one stage of handball on Kerry Dixon. Which very much Nicholas has done well with. Perhaps we didn't give him enough credit in the first place, Peter. Nicholas has done very well to intercept that. Full marks to Nicholas. He got him just before Slaven by the look of that.
Keeper's legs that win or lose cup stars. I was thinking exactly the same thing. And they're certainly not overawed by the occasion. And we've got to remember that they have with Mark Proctor and Peter Davenport and of course Bernie Slaven now, good experienced players who can turn a game on their own.
Might be a few absentees from work tomorrow on. I just get the impression as well, funnily enough, that the Middlesbrough fans possibly can't believe they're here. I'm sure if their side were to give them a goal to really cling to, then you wouldn't half hear some Geordie voices. Moncau to Johnson. Chelsea fans trying to urge their team forward now. Bumstead to Hall. Johnson has continued his progress down the middle. Chelsea might be a chance for Nicholas to blast one in from here. Johnson is there too. Tony DeRigo as well, who's got a pretty powerful shot. Middlesbrough and all 10 outfield players back defending this free kick. Roger Milford making sure that wall is a requisite distance away. 5 in the wall. It's DeRigo. Oh, it's a goal! And the normal flat back road is okay. Davenport. Here's Slaven. Out of play. It's the forward of Chelsea. Slaven just tangling there. Here's Gareth Hall. And he's going to get a ticking off too from Roger Milford. Actually, that's about the third Middlesbrough player. I think I saw Brennan just earlier have a little bit of an altercation with Gareth Hall. Fire little Welshman. who believes in making his physical presence and making an impact on the game that way sometimes. But now in playing basically in the normal flat back four, he does okay.
Davenport. It's Slaven. Out of play. It's a throw to Chelsea. Slaven just tackling that. Here's Gareth Hall. And he's going to get a ticking off too from Roger Milford.
Actually, that's about the third Middlesbrough player. I think I saw Brennan just earlier have a little bit of an altercation with Gareth Hall. Fiery little Welshman who believes in making his physical presence and making an impact on the game that way sometimes.
Chance to come forward now. It's given away though to Nicholas. And here's the quick counter attack with Dury. Nicholas showed too much of that for Brennan. We now have 2 minutes of injury time. Off goes Ripley. How will he take on Moncau here? Driven in towards Slaven. He's controlled it well. Couldn't keep it down though. It was positive play by Middlesbrough.
Very much so. I would say on the balance of play in the first half, they probably had more occasions when they might have scored than Chelsea had. They'll consider themselves a little bit unfortunate to be one down at half-time. That's the mark of Bernie Slavin's quick reaction.
And there is a whistle from Roger Milford to end the first. It's reached them. McGee. Parkinson. Brennan. Moncau missed it. Head up for once. Slaven back across the goal. Oh, and Davenport with a dreadful miss kick. And he'll be so annoyed with himself there. In fairness, Ron, the ball really flew across the area, but all the same.
Yes, to be fair, he wouldn't have got a sighting on it till at the last minute because Bernie Slavin whipped it so rapid. In fact, I thought Bernie Slavin had almost made himself swinging out of nothing there.
Middlesbrough beginning to get a grip on the second half. There's the effort from Slaven across the goal. The first up those famous steps. Led up by their captain on the day, Mark Proctor. Standing in for the injured Tony Mowbray. And they're getting a great reception from the crowd. The guest of honour, Joe Solari, President of ZF Data Systems Europe. And he'll be handing over the cup very shortly to Peter Nicholas of Chelsea. But in the meantime, let's just share here the congratulations to the Middlesbrough for the part they played. Mark Proctor leading his players along. Here's Peter Nicholas, leads the Chelsea players down the steps. And Middlesbrough are going to set off to on a lap of honour themselves. And they are getting tremendous reception too from the Chelsea fans. And that's great to see. What a sporting gesture then from the Chelsea fans back behind the goal.